Dokja mockingly tells the fourth wall to shut up about all the nonsense. He mocks it again, saying that if it insists no one is around Dokja and he is alone, then it should be the one answering any questions he wants answered. Dokja looks at his hands, trying to make sense of everything. He reminds himself that he managed to survive since becoming a constellation, but his physical incarnation is destroyed. Notifications inform him that many of his stories have been damaged, and his physical incarnation is currently destroyed. He understands now that he doesn't have a body, just a very incomplete set of stories. The blue tabs again warn him that his physical incarnation is in extreme danger, and there doesn't seem to be any way to restore his body. He asks if he can still use the Omniscient reader's viewpoint, but the tab informs him that the area he's in doesn't allow the use of that skill. He learns that he has lost all contact with his incarnation and cannot access the channel system. He tells himself that maybe he truly is alone here. Then, the fourth wall says no one can see him, and he can't see anyone either. Dokja smiles, thinking he is not completely alone after all, and asks how long the fourth wall plans to keep this up. The fourth wall replies that he is too stupid to understand why the great fourth wall bothers narrating everything that's happening. Dokja responds that it can do more than just describe things and questions the nature of the fourth wall skill. The fourth wall keeps calling him stupid, which infuriates Dokja, and he tells it to shut up or he'll switch the skill off. The fourth wall asks if it should stop speaking. Dokja tells it to stop and leave him alone for a while. The fourth wall goes silent. Dokja takes his face in his hands and grunts. Suddenly, he grabs his throat. He can't breathe. It feels like someone is squeezing the air out of his lungs. The rate at which his stories are being damaged increases. In the star stream, a world made of stories, there are no exceptions. Whether one is an incarnation or a constellation, all beings breathe and exist through stories. If Dokja's stories keep being damaged, he won't be able to exist. Dokja looks at his hands and pleads for help. He finally understands the real reason behind the fourth wall's rambling. It was trying to keep him alive. Struggling for breath, he realizes that the fourth wall was creating a story to keep him alive in a place where stories don't exist. The fourth wall activates again. Dokja, still in great pain and struggling to breathe, hears the fourth wall call him a fool. Dokja now realizes he underestimated the situation. If not for the fourth wall, he would have died the moment he arrived here. The fourth wall tells him he now understands not to take it for granted. Dokja asks how long it can protect him. The fourth wall replies, not very long. Dokja understands that the fourth wall would naturally struggle to withstand the plausibility storm. It can only be neutralized with the help of a constellation. He turns around and sees something. The fourth wall tells Dokja that he knows what it is. Dokja agrees. It's a scenario cleanser. The fourth wall starts narrating that Dokja believes the cleanser's presence means the cleaning of the scenario has begun, and soon the horizon's demons will appear. Dokja tells the fourth wall it's good at reading minds, but he needs to find something first. He wanders around searching. Eventually, he lifts a lid and sees a notification, a message from someone saying they can trust Dokja, that they've left these here as Dokja asked, and thanking him for being an incarnation on their channel. They hope he survives. Dokja opens another lid, finds a sword in there. He grabs it, and the notification tells him he has received a new attribute and has obtained an unbreakable faith. On the other hand, he obtains an egg called a doibi egg. He moves out and sits on a rock, thinking he has collected all the items he asked Beong to prepare for him. He sits there, waiting for it to appear. He sits alone, staring at the empty road. Someone arrives holding a light in their hand, and Dokja knows it is here. The thing appearing asks Dokja if he is the king of salvation. The fourth wall tells that demons dwell in the story's horizon. They're neither demon kings nor part of the demonic species, but they're still called demons nonetheless. They crave stories as much as the dobi, and despise the dobi as much as they crave stories. If you have been expelled from a scenario, this is the only thing one can count on as the mercy of Horizon's demons. The Horizon's demon, with his yellow eyes, stares at Dokja. He says to Dokja how strange, it's odd that even with the archdemon's eyeball, he cannot see his information. Dokja replies that not even prophets can see his information. The demon flinches when Dokja says he seems behind the times for a Weni man. The demon asks if he knew he would come. Dokja stands up and presents the doibi egg in front of him and asks if he is here for this. The demon furiously tells Dokja that the soul is only his. He says that his version in the parallel universe sent that, so it only belongs to him. Dokja shows him he doesn't understand. The demon tells him he was wondering where the soul meant to return to the underworld had gone, but now he sees Dokja got his hands on it. He asks Dokja to return the soul to him. Dokja acts dumb and asks if Starstream has some sort of lost and found. This egg contains Ying Shin from Yoonghook's fourth round, which makes everything the demon is saying sound right. He was the one who transformed Ying and brought her to this dimension. The demon tells him that if he wants to play, then he can ask the soul directly, as she has free will to choose as well. Dokja calls Yusing and asks if the Weni man is her actual owner. Dokja quivers and tries to look into the egg. He then replies to the egg that he understands that the Weni man is not her owner and asks about her belonging to any one of them. Dokja then smirks at the demon, saying he completely understands that souls cannot belong to anyone in the same way no one can possess a story. The demon smiles and asks if the demon king of salvation wants to strike a bargain with him. Dokja agrees. The demon tells him even if his achievements have drawn great attention here, still, if he wants to strike a deal, he better hand over the egg to him first. Dokja tells him he needs him, and he cannot do this. The demon accuses him of not even knowing the value of the egg. Dokja refuses and tells him he knows everything. The being to be born from this egg can create a channel. The demon asks if he knows the significance of that. Dokja starts explaining the significance. He says it means a star stream can be transmitted without the management center's authority. This egg can produce countless stories, and he asks if the demon wants the egg because of this feature as well. The demon asks if he wants to betray the star stream. Dokja tells him he doesn't know and asks if the management center is the entirety of the star stream. The demon informs him that sometimes one part is the same as the whole. Dokja mocks him and then tells him he will destroy the world of Doi. The demon grins upon hearing Dokja's intentions and praises his bravery. Dokja knows that the Weni men, active where the Docubus channel doesn't reach, play a role similar to the black market operations of Starstream. The demon asks if Dokja only has two requests. First, he wishes to return to a scenario, and second, he wants to obtain a new physical incarnation. Dokja nods. For a price, the demons can return exiles to scenarios and even provide unique objects that can be acquired in a channel, but the price they ask in return is very steep. The demon agrees to both his wishes. He tells him that in return, Dokja needs to give him the egg. Dokja doesn't agree, and the demon refuses to help him. Dokja doesn't understand. If the demon won't give him what he wants without the egg, then what is he supposed to do? He tells him again that he cannot give the egg, and even if he gives him the egg, he won't be able to use it. The demon asks if Dokja has fed his stories to the egg, and Dokja agrees. The demon is surprised yet thinks this is a foul idea, mixing Doibi in stories. Dokja opens a notification and says he has something to give the demon instead of the egg. He opens the story list and tells him he can give him a story. The demon looks at the stories and is amazed by them, and he agrees to choose one instead of the egg. Dokja tells him he can choose one for now. The demon chooses the story, The One Who Killed Another World God. Dokja smiles and tells him he's being too greedy, as this is his only semi-mythical story. The demon then moves to another one and says he will choose The King of the World Without a King. Dokja refuses again, saying that is his birth story and he can't give it away. The demon then questions about the one as the demon king of salvation. Dokja refuses again, saying that's how he formally became a constellation. He won't give it away. The demon chooses the one who fought against a miracle. Dokja refuses again, saying he needs this one later. Dokja tells him he can give him the Salat Tang allied forces, and the demon tells him he wouldn't even take it for free. Dokja then asks about the insect genocide, but the demon refuses, saying it's already been done before. Dokja grins and tells him he can give both of them to him and other historical grade stories. The demon says he better take it, as Dokja is refusing to make a deal. Dokja had already expected that it would not be easy to bargain with a Horizons demon. Dokja's physical incarnation is now falling apart, and he has very little time left. His body has started to vanish away in ashes. The fourth wall starts to create a story to buy him more time. It narrates that Dokja is now thinking about which story to give the demon. Just then, a story jumps into his mind. Dokja presents him a story. It is a legendary story but has no special skills. However, just the fact that the story existed is enough to pique the Weni man's interest. The Weni man looks intrigued by the existence of such a story. He laughs aloud and Dokja asks if he likes the story. He accepts the story of the one who scorned a storyteller. The demon laughs and takes it as a delightful story. The man highlights Dokja's two wishes. 1, he wishes to return to a scenario, and 2, he wants to obtain his new physical incarnation. He tells him the story he offered is quite rare, but practically contains no skill. It falls a bit short of the price mark, which leaves Dokja surprised. The demon agrees only to give him the physical incarnation. Dokja asks him again, but the demon refuses. He confirms that because of what Dokja did, the Korean Peninsula's management center and nebulae are on edge. Currently, nearly all the routes returning to a scenario on Earth are blocked off, and even with greater payment, it would be impossible. Dokja tells him he wants to return to the scenario, and it is even more important than the incarnation. The demon thinks this can be a problem. Dokja asks if he can participate in any other scenario besides Earth. The Weni man confirms that he knows a few places, but that'll be even more difficult, and moving to an escape scenario requires greater probability. The man tells him that it is a much rarer story than he thinks and asks, which incarnation can obtain a story about beating up a dokubi? Dokja smiles and tells him to show this story off to his friends. The Weni man speaks again. He tells him he might know a place Dokja can go, the demonic realm. The man shows him the demonic realm, telling him that it is the 73rd demonic realm and is without a reigning demon king. He explains that it is the place where scenario stragglers gather. Dokja asks if he is sending him to a scenario. The man confesses he is not returning him to a scenario. He is merely moving him to the 73rd demonic realm. The Weni man laughs and tells him he will give him a tip. It would take considerable effort and luck, but depending on how he uses the information, he might be able to return to a scenario and also obtain a physical incarnation. The man laughs and opens a demonic realm for Dokja. He asks Dokja to enter quickly, as the portal won't last long. Dokja enters the portal and the star stream glimpses his existence. The star stream turns a blind eye to him. Dokja keeps falling through space. Thanks for watching. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated. And hey, drop a comment if you have thoughts or new ideas or just want to say hi. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care and stay awesome.